Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a lovely day. So today's video is actually a requested one, and it's me showing you how I organize my notes and how I take notes. I know a lot of people like myself were a bit confused when they start taking notes, how effective note taking would be and what the most effective way of note taking would be. It all kind of depends upon what kind of learner you are, and if you're a visual learner or if you just like writing things out and memorizing it. So I'm going to go through a couple of little ideas how you can take your notes. So yeah, let's just get started. So I would say the first one would be to take some flashcards. I don't normally use flashcards that much, but when I do, I normally just take, let's say take this one, I put the keyword here and I put like the definition of the keyword behind. Or I take, if I'm, let's say I'm doing geography for example, I put like the volcano, if I'm learning about volcanoes, I put volcano here. Then I put the process of how a volcano comes to be. So when you've got the plates submerging underneath each other and all that kind of stuff. So I normally use that for geography when I was doing it for GCSE, so I use flashcards quite a bit then. You can also just probably cut them in half, and then you can make them in smaller parts, so you can just test each other on it with your friends. So that's one way you can do it. Again, I'm not really that, my strong suit isn't really with these cards. I normally just do other different types of memorizing things. So that's one of them. And the second way I would say is my favourite way to do it. I make posters. So this one here is essentially my A-level economics notes, and if I turn to the first page, you can see that I have a whole page of notes, and this is my favourite way to revise. I normally end up going through all the things that the spec needs me to know. That's how I work through all the subjects I've ever done, is to work through spec and to see what they want you to know. There's no point in knowing everything if they don't need to know everything. So look for what they need to know, and then what I do is I make a whole poster of things that they want me to know. So this is my A-level economics for my first year. I just did everything I wanted to do on here, and then I've got the other pages, so I just did it all on A3 pieces of paper. Then I've got a second page with just extra bits and bobs, and then I've got a third page with some diagrams. So for people who love colour and like me, and they just want to implement colour in everything they do, I'd highly recommend maybe doing posters. Posters are really helpful for me, especially because for me, if I do a topic on a specific colour, so if I do diagrams for example, if you're doing economics and you're doing externalities, you can do that section in blue, so when it comes to actually doing the exams, all you have to do is visualise that blue section in the poster, and it helps you remember so many different formulas, diagrams, and it helps you make sure you get the right diagram every single time. So I colour coordinate everything. In this case I just coloured everything, but it helped me remember everything because all my notes are very concise as well, so I don't normally bombard a lot of words into one page. In this case it's just literally many topics, but all concise down to as much as I really need to know. So I just did it in a A3 piece of paper. Everything you need to know would be in these papers. Another poster would have been for just flat out everything. Again, everything I would need to know for my spec would be on this piece of paper, and it was for supply side of economics for year one. So everything would be in this A3s of paper, so I know that all my work would be in one place for me to just revise for exams and all that kind of things. I know for people who aren't actually colour orientated and would just like to just write things out, which I also plan on doing sometimes. So this is one of my A-level notes, and what I normally do is write the title of the lesson that we're doing, then I do a diagram, then I do little headings as well. And what I do is I just write next to each diagram what does the diagram show, where can I use the diagrams, the topics it could come up in, and then I just do headings and I do little bullet points. So that's one of the way I normally end up doing, just if I'm not wanting to go all out crazy with colour. This is just in A-level general notes. if I'm working outside of A level and I'm at home and I want to be able to revise, I normally go out and buy A3 piece of paper and do the posters. So this is my first draft, if you want to say that, of my notes, and then I go over it again when it comes to revision and use colour and coordinate everything. Yes, that's how I go about doing most of my notes. I make my A-level notes and I go over it in whichever way I feel would benefit me the most. So if you go back here, again, I'm doing headings and I've got all the bullet points for that specific heading. Then here I've got literally different subtopics, so I don't really do any headings or anything. I just write them out and just write them as plain and simple as possible. I don't try and make it overly complicated, because you have to try and make sure that you get every single thing the teacher is saying and what's on the board, because they're both equally as important. So that's one of the way I would do it. And another one I would say, which I find very useful as well, is again just writing it out, but making it very, very easy that even a 8-year-old could understand, if that makes sense. So my sister, she's currently going to go into secondary school, and she's asking me to write things down that probably year 7 to year 11 people would need to know. So I've started writing some things out for her, and what I've done so far is I've literally just wrote formulas out with little bubbles around it. That's all I ever do for it, just to make it plain and simple but yet colourful and pleasing to look at. You don't want to be bombarding with a lot of these sometimes, because it can get like iffy to read and to keep looking at, because you're just looking at black and white. This one adds a bit of pop of colour. Yeah, so I've just got each little subtopic, each topic in maths would have its own little bubble. So this is how I've done it so far. I've got speed, distance, time, then I've got Pythagoras' theorem. So this is how I do it for my sister. I just make it very simple and easy for her to understand, because I know that she's not going to understand if I write it in plain text like this. She's going to get very confused. So I would also recommend probably giving examples, but making sure that they're not too hard. You can give a mixture of examples. So don't just give one example and it being really, really hard to do. Chances are it's just going to make you feel a bit annoyed if you can't figure it out. So you give examples of, like easy examples, and then medium examples, and then really, really hard examples, just to, give you a range of what kind of questions you can expect. Because what will happen is, if you just give yourself really hard examples, your body's going to be trained to do those kind of hard examples. So when it comes to exams and you see that kind of question, you'll know how to answer it. But then if you've got no practice of the simpler questions, you're going to struggle for a bit. It's going to take you a lot longer to figure them out when it really shouldn't. So I'd recommend, that's another tip I'd give, is to just give yourself a range of examples. This was a very quick video, but I wanted to just make it very quick and very easy for people to figure out what kind of learner they could be. It takes me a while to figure out what kind of learner I am. I'm a mixture of learners. I'm a visual learner. I'm a person that also likes just write and write and write and write. I have a massive whiteboard on the side here next to me, and I just write loads of stuff out if I can't be asked to use a lot of paper. So yeah, loads of people are visual learners. Loads of people just like writing things out. Loads of people just like using flashcards and having keywords and just memorising keywords. But I think it depends upon what kind of subject you're doing and how much of a push you need in that subject to do really well. Like, some people just need to brush up on a couple of things, so they might think that flashcards are a really, really good idea. Some people might be struggling with the subject, so might think that posters are the best way to go. Some people might just think, okay, I don't really like doing posters, so then go ahead and just do different notes, just writing them out and all that kind of thing. So I think this video just kind of sums up my idea of helping people try and figure out what kind of learner they are and how they can make their notes really, really effective. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very quick video. If you guys haven't checked out my previous videos, go check them out. I've got a video on how to organise your folder, and like people going to new schools, new beginnings, all that kind of thing. So make sure you check it out on my channel. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!